Namaste. Today we will take up how the six enemies of the mind or the impurities in the mind originate. You like something, there is always a dislike behind it. You are getting pleasure in eating pasta. There is something that pain is hides behind it. Why it hides behind it? Maybe because of attachment, maybe because of delusion that we need to discover. And once we find that and you live into the clarity, there is no chance of entering into any kind of suffering in your life. So, first, we will be doing a small practice, a passive practice. Eyes are closed. Eyes are closed and aware of the body. Last time we did the practice, I will extend that practice a bit. So aware of the body, look at the neck joint, the root of the joint means you are moving the mind within and experience sensation, comfort and steadiness. Look deep inside. That is my intent in giving this step. Means our goal of being comfortable is changing the direction of the mind. So when we change the direction, we also change the state of the mind. How easy it is. You are sitting with eyes closed gently and you are looking at the shoulder joints, and then your mind looks at the root of the joint and you are there and you experience the sensation, comfort and steadiness. Never think it is because of looking at the shoulder joint you feel the comfort and steadiness. It is because we moving the mind within. So again, look at the entire body. Be aware of the entire body. And then looking within all the joints, neck joint, shoulders, spine, elbows, wrist, hip, knee, knees, ankles, toes. So you are looking inside all the joints and experience sensation, comfort, and and steadiness. And the next step we have been doing, being carefree. The more you repeat these two steps consciously, it will take you deeper. Being carefree. Last time I explained to you that when you look at the sky and the birds are flying there, did anything happen to the sky when the birds are flying? Oh no. But I feel that part of the sky where the bird is flying as if it is not there. It is there. The sky is always there, everywhere, all around those birds. Similarly, any thought like the bird enters into the mind, that space is there always. So anytime the thought enters, the feeling and the emotions, just also become aware of the space, also become aware of the space. Is it not so simple? And yet it is very challenging. Why it is challenging? Thought comes and I'm attached to the thought. I'm attached to a particular feeling and emotion, and then I forget the space. Say if you like the birds, attached to the bird, you'll forget the sky. That is what happens in our daily life. We get attached, we get obsessed with a particular event and a person and a thing, and then we forget the whole situation, event, or a person. Nothing outside causes any challenges to us unless we are deluded or we are attached. In that state of being comfortable and being carefree, we'll move to the next step. In all these steps, they shift your awareness of the mind. So we are not doing any active step today. So move to, you look at the head and the neck, the space around the head and the neck. Then your mind moves from the space to the skin of the head and the neck, and sensation and relaxation. So simple. Again, it's another way to ask the mind to keep moving within, to keep looking inside instead of outside. So the right arm, the space around the right arm. From the space, your mind moves to the sensation, sensation to relaxation. Looking at the left arm, the space around the left, you cannot identify the left arm without the space around it. And we will understand at a higher stage that space is nothing but the awareness and the consciousness going through the mind and recognizes the left arm. So space all around, sensation and steadiness. Looking at the rib cage means awareness of the rib cage, but before that, the space all around the rib cage and the front and the back, and sensation and relaxation. The belly all around, the space, sensation and relaxation. The right leg, I'm simply saying, and instantly your mind moves there to the right leg. You become aware of the space around it, sensation and relaxation. How easy it is. Let me know after you do the practice every day for about a week. Left leg, space, sensation and relaxation. So in the next step, we will move the mind a little deeper within. So we will continue to have a space, sensation, relaxation, and I'm adding one more thing. You experience the stillness. It is the stillness in the body. It is not the stillness of the body. How can there be a stillness of the body? Because body inside is constantly moving. The blood, the messages are being transmitted. You're listening to me. Now, so look at the head and the neck. And I say, and you move. Space all around, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Right arm, space, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Left arm, the space all around the left arm. And then we move the mind from the space to the skin of the left arm, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. The middle portion of the body from the shoulder down to the waist, space all around, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Move the mind on the right leg, space all around, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Mind on the left leg, space, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. The entire body. We are educating the mind. The last time I gave you that state, that step. And I asked you to repeat this step again and again by looking at the entire body. Awareness of the space all around, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. You're just shifting your awareness from outside to the body. But this time, we will move little inside the body. And then we will understand and discuss that what it means by inside the body. It's a metaphor. So looking at the head and the neck, space all around, you consciously know where the mind is. Then the sensation all around the skin of the head and the neck, relaxation, stillness. Now as if the mind is looking inside the head and the neck. And just explore, is there any sensation inside the head and the neck which is separate and different from the sensation outside on your skin? Any sensation in the beginning. I told you I'm using the metaphor, and then we will understand a little deeper. So when we explore any sensation, or a sense of nothingness, obviously that is the state of the calmness. The mind moves on the right arm, Same process. The space all around the right arm. Mind moves from the space, goes to sensation in the right arm, relaxation, stillness, and then you're looking inside the right arm, be there, and you experience some sort of calmness. If not, you can repeat it. So the left arm in the space all around the left arm. The sensation, relaxation, stillness, and inside the left arm is calmness. The middle portion of the body, from the shoulder down to the waist and front and the back, all around, you are aware of the space. From the space, we move to sensation on the skin, relaxation, and stillness. And after the stillness, you look inside your heart. Be there. Explore any sensation within. And that is the state of the calmness. Right leg. Space. I'm simply pointing you out. You space, so you become aware of the space all around the right leg. From the space, you feel the sensation, relaxation, stillness, and then you look inside the right leg. You experience calmness. Left leg, space all around the leg. Sensation, relaxation, stillness, calmness. The entire body space all around the body. We are already aware of that. There is a space. And then there is a sensation by which I recognize here is the body. Then there is a relaxation at this moment. There is stillness. Inside the body, explore many sensations. That is the state of the calmness. And in that sensation inside, you also find there is the emptiness or the space within. That space and emptiness within is a state of quietness. Now, any thought which appears too near to you, that is what it causes the disturbance. Now the thought is little far from you, relaxations. More far from you, that is where the stillness comes. Still very far from you, that you know the thought is there, but what is in it? Calmness. Now the thought appears as a dot. It is the state of quietness. See that? We did nothing. We shifted the direction. We shifted the mind from outside to inside. Means that we change the direction. Anytime, anywhere. Eyes open or closed, if you can shift the direction of the mind, we recognize not only what is happening to us, but we will also understand how the mind is causing the problem in life. Mind is the cause of the problem, and mind is the cause of the solution. Just stay there in that state of the quietness deep inside you. There is always a quietness and a calmness deep inside everyone. Because of these thoughts caused by the attachment and the delusion, it veils that space. And when it veils the space, we recognize all these thoughts as basically the my, me, and that causes the problem. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Yes. Now bring your awareness on the right hand, your awareness on the left hand, and bring both your palms on your eyes. Open the eyes inside. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. Stay there in that focus, attention, calmness, and relaxation. Why? With that attention, you receive much more than expected from the mind. That is why I gave you a simple practice in the beginning. We were talking about how the 6 enemies originate. Those 6 enemies of the mind, I told you: desire, agitation, pleasure, delusion, pride, and the hatred or the jealousy. All originate from the desire. But from where the desire originate? From ignorance. From ignorance. So ignorance is not illiteracy, it is a lack of true knowledge about me, about you. What is the lack of true knowledge about me and you? That I don't know the real self. The real self is of the nature of peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. So when I don't know my true nature, I have to give some identification to myself. So the mind goes and gives some identification with the temporary. It identifies with something that is temporary and changing, such as the body, mind, ego. I don't know who you are. So when I'm aware that I don't know myself, I'm the body. So I'm the name, I'm the mind, I'm the ego. One reason, one way to understand that. Second way to understand, is attachment to what is changing all the time. If you are attached to anything in the world which is constantly changing, it will cause you the problem. So should I not use what is? No, use it, but don't get attached to it. The mind becomes attached to constantly changing things like material possessions, like the body, relationship, and the experiences. The attachment creates a false sense of identity, leads to the belief that happiness and fulfillment can be found in the external objects. So the first is attachment. During that attachment, I forget. Oh, everything is good. But then mind creates a belief that this is the source of my peace and happiness, and then attachment strengthens and it causes problem in our life. You have to think. There is another reason for this, that the ego reinforces certain ideas in the thoughts. I am here, you are there. There is a very subtle ego. It does not cause any problem. I am and the rest of the world. I am and the rest of the world. I am and the world is definitely separate from me. So this separatedness creates lot of challenges. Can you find your boundary of where you are? Just see, here I am. It means I am the body, but I am not the body. So what is that line where you see here is a world and here you are? So if I'm not the body, then there is no name in the form. Then what is inside? It is consciousness. Consciousness. So can I have a boundary of the consciousness? Can you have a boundary over the space? The space is all pervading. Even if you create a boundary, the space continues to exist. But the false I creates a boundary, and that boundary, here I am and here you are. A sense of separateness, if you say, and that gives you the sense of individuality, and that is a false identification. And then at false identification, as I always feel a sense of incompleteness, and because I feel the sense of incompleteness, I want to become complete by acquiring, by possessing, by attachment, by duality, by. So it is because of the perpetuation of the desires and aversion. So I start living in constantly desires, in issues of attachment and aversion. Moha, the delusion, we are going to talk in the next section. That delusion fuels the cycle of desires and aversion. The mind under the influence of delusion constantly chases after what it believes will bring happiness. So I'm already into the state of delusion and I'm chasing where there is no happiness. But because of the delusion, I find the happiness is there, so I'm chasing. I'm chasing where I think I will have the pleasure, and I'm avoiding where I feel it is going to bring unpleasant experiences. And the mind is constantly busy, running, working, and that I'm always living in the delusion, which causes the Lot of challenges in my life. It clouds your judgment, clouds your judgment. Because I'm not able to see what is real and what is illusory. Whenever you have anxiety, mind stress, mind strong likes and dislikes, mind attachment, mind, we have that kind of a delusion. So instantly we have to sit back, practice meditation, make the mind clear, and start looking that what you start looking the illusory aspect, the delusion aspect. Why I'm getting obsessed with something, why I'm running after something, what happens to me. So first solution is that I have to sit down calmly and I have to think. Last time we discussed that we have a reservoir of the karma. Karma means action or the impressions in our. There is a storehouse. Every impression is stored. Whatever I have done in the current life and also in the previous life. So those impressions are in two packages. Package number one, whatever the things that you like, that contains the attachment, a little bit of appreciation and the praise. Those impressions are there. And the package number two, you don't like, you want to avoid, you want to react and hesitate. So that warehouse of these impressions contains the vasanas. It is known as the vasanas. Vasanas are deep rooted mental impressions or tendencies that are formed as a result of my past experiences. I told you, past experiences, thoughts, and actions. It is a storehouse of that impression. You reacted once in your life. So that is already stored in the warehouse which contains the vasanas, tendencies of the past impressions. It is still present. Millions of these impressions are still present. So they are present below the conscious mind, and then you look at someone. So that impression pops up and triggers and creates a thought and a feeling. Ah, what a great guy. No, what a crazy guy he or she is. So we think that, oh, this is such a simple thought, but it has come from the trigger from the warehouse. So when it pops up and it triggers, we say it is sankalpa or sankalpa and vikalpa. So I gave you a clear understanding. Whenever we have the sankalpa and vikalpa, we create an imagined or projected reality, imagined or projected peace or happiness, imagined or projected pain. One young guy, 32 years old, he was always in the evening walking the dog in his community where he lived. He lives nearby you. And every time walking the dog, his mind is filled with the fear. If someone attacks me, if someone reacts to me, if someone does wrong to me. And after taking 50 steps, he used to return to his house. So I create an imagined fear also, imagined pain also. not only the imagined pleasure. So it is the mental process. Some impression popped up, entered into the mind, created that imagined pain or the pleasure. It may be due to the conditioning and the past experiences. It may be due to the psychological tendencies we have been living with. It may be because of the emotional response. It may be because of the repetition and the reinforcement. So you see that imagined or projected reality takes the form of a thought. Basically, sankalpa and vikalpa, it is basically a thought or a feeling, but that thought contains the desire. And if it contains the desire, so I want to fulfill the desire. So I have to make an effort. So if I have to make an effort, I'm on the spree of attaining the pleasure which is not there. It is like searching the mirage, searching the water in the mirage. I approach there and I find the water is not there. That is what happens with our all desires. That is why when the desire we find it is fulfilled or it is not fulfilled, agitation and stress, and it results into delusion. Your mind should absorb completely, digest and assimilate this practical concept. So why? So that anywhere and everywhere you are living, moving and going, meeting the friends, and your mind instantly recognizes the sankalpa vikalpa and also recognizes the imagined projection of the peace and the pain. And you can easily get rid of it. Sometime we also create this imagined pleasure consciously. I will be happy when I meet this person, when I live with this person. Did it happen any time in the world? Or if I enter into this situation, so I choose consciously, but that is also an imagined reality. So we have to understand that these factors, imagine sankalpa is the seed of the desire. And with that seed of the desire to be fulfilled contains some imagined realities. Because it contains the imagination and projected reality, mind simultaneously creates the opposite thought, whether I will be able to achieve that or. I told you this young guy who loved a young girl. First week was goody goody. Second week, this young guy who has been attending my sessions, he said, I'm totally frustrated. Why? I gave 200% to this girl, and now this girl is not responding to me. And I asked him, my friend, you have been with me for the last 1.5 years. You did not even give me 10%, and within a week you gave 200% to that girl. That is an imagined and projected reality. He got very much frustrated because the girl stopped responding after a week. And you see, you enter into a greater delusion because your focus is there on the girl. So he told me that, I don't want anything from her except that at least she should send me a message in my phone, text message. I said, what kind of a message you want? I'll send you. Break that delusion. Break this imagined pleasure. That if she sends me the text message that I am sorry, I will be happy. No, you will not be happy. Think of this. And this is what happens in our life. When you are getting obsessed, you forget this thing, and I gave 200% means it's a mere attachment. And that attachment, because of you see the imagined and projected happiness. And because of the imagined, it is imagined projected happiness. So it is a delusion. It is not real. And it takes time for anyone to realize that. He realized that after 2 or 3 weeks, and he was upset, and then he got realized. But if you realize instantly, you're a happy person there and then. So we have also to understand how this sankalpa and the vikalpa leads to the impurity. Sankalpa and vikalpa contains an element of attachment and craving. Means any thought pops up in your mind, I have to be careful. I have to analyze, observe. So that thought may contain behind that thought. It contains the attachment and a craving. So when your mind repeats that thought, you are strengthening the imagined pleasure or peace. The mind becomes as if it is fixated on the desired object or the outcome. And when it is fixated on the desired object or an outcome or a relation or a person, leading to a sense of incompleteness in you. So when you have a sense of incompleteness, you will definitely feel a sense of frustration and anxiety duality. There is another possibility in this, vikalpa, aversion and hatred. So sometimes my mind keeps on reacting and blaming against a person. Don't do that. That is also because of the imagined and projected pain or the pleasure. They can also generate aversion towards undesired object or the situation. In that case, the mind dwells on the negative experiences. So the moment your mind starts thinking of negative experiences, be alert, be aware, consciously think, oh, it is because of sankalpa, vikalpa, and that is triggered by the warehouse that is already present. And let me think, and I will take a right course of action and stick to it. Delusion and ignorance, I told you. So sankalpa, vikalpa, or the thought pertaining to my pain or attachment or reaction or blame or frustration or anger, that is what I told you. Stressed mind, angry mind, upset mind, mood swing mind. I was telling yesterday that this guy who told me that I have a mood swing very fast. I said, if you have a mood swing, so it means you suffer yourself by yourself. Nobody would like to approach you. So he told me, is that the reason that nobody wants to talk to me? I said, yes. Because you swing your mood at your will. It has become your habit. It is because of the delusion and the ignorance. And this thought process that pops up from the past impression also contains the sense of egoism and self-centeredness. So I have to recognize this consciously. When you recognize it, you can throw it. And sometimes the sankalpa and the vikalpa also arise due to the restlessness and agitation. You are internally agitated, a sense of restlessness is there, and that causes also the problem in our daily life. Don't forget, never forget, desire moves into the six different aspects of in life. That the same desire is one becomes anger, agitation, stress. Same desire becomes the greed and attachment, and same desire becomes the delusion. The same desire becomes the pride or selfishness. The same desire becomes the hatred and the jealousy. Only thing you need to explore it. You have to explore consciously and you have to find out. And once you realize that it is all the different shades and the colors of a desire, these six factors, which is my master used to say, they are the great enemies of you. The moment, sometimes we so-called we have a healthy desire, it's okay. But we have to guard ourselves that when the desire becomes hesitation and stressed mind, when the desire becomes the strong likes and dislikes mind, when the same desire becomes the deluded mind of sheep mind, monkey mind, I explained to you, and when the same mind becomes the jealousy and a hatred, and I'm not able to get rid of it, I'm definitely having a lot of challenges in my mind. So even if you don't recognize these six factors, every day, even for 5 minutes before you are going to sleep, you remind yourself, did I have a money mind? Did I have sheep mind, stressed mind, monkey mind, strong likes and dislikes mind, anxiety mind, mood swing mind, upset mind? So you just analyze them, write it down, and the next day you can contemplate and get rid of it. It's a process. And if you follow the right process, it is going to help. Now, just understand, I also talked briefly in the last two sessions that these six enemies, how they work in our personal life. In the personal life, basically, it is fueled by the desire, agitation, and the delusion. So when these three factors are dominant, and these three factors, you are sitting just in your house alone, and suddenly the mind is deluded, and then you start thinking about a person and you get upset. Who made you upset? That person. That person is not you. So if you remember that the desire, agitation, and the stress and the delusion are the three dominant factors out of the six. In the professional life, it is the greed. In the professional life, it is greed, pride, and egoism. These three factors are dominant. In social life, obviously we have a sense of jealousy, agitation or anger, and the delusion. These three factors are dominant in the professional life. In the family life, desire is always there, agitation is there, ego is also there. Oh, you did not listen to me, I didn't listen to you. We have not to invoke these feelings in our family, personal, professional, and social life. The life is going to be happy. Any desire originates from the sankalpa and the vikalpa. It is projected pain and the pleasure. And the sankalpa originates from the past impression because of the attachment or detachment. You have to repeat in your head 1 million times. Why? Because now then the mind is settled in that knowledge and you will instantly recognize. So once we have a recognition, then we can also recognize what agitation is in my head. What is that hesitation? What is that irritation? Why I'm frustrated? I get the right answer. Or I will also recognize an attitude of having a greed and over possessiveness of something, some person, some relation. And because of that, I also recognize, oh, I am bit deluded. I also recognize the part of the delusion. And if there is any pride, you will be able to understand it, or the element of the jealousy will drop by itself completely. I can bet you. There and then. And once you have contemplated and reflected, you have recognized the delusion part is gone, the jealousy part is gone, the egoism is gone. And for the attachment, if you do the practice, that is also gone and you'll be happy. Now, even if your mind is asking from where these six enemies in the mind originate, from ignorance, so simple. I told you, and ignorance is the lack of knowledge. Lack of knowledge of what? I don't know my real self, and that is the path we are already treating. I took a deviation for a couple of the sessions. I will go back. I am attached to imagined pleasure or imagined pain. And that I reinforce that attachment, that projected pain and pleasure by ego. So when you reinforce again and again, then what happens? There's a perpetuation of desires and aversion, and it clouds your judgment. In cases of sleep disturbances, only the judgment was clouded. That is what I explained to you. And you recover. You see how deeper these six enemies can cause such a deep problem. And it may result into a lot of challenges, the physical, mental, emotional challenges, family challenges, perpetual cycle of desires and aversion. It clouds my judgment and it becomes the basis of many other impurities in your life. So at a very subtle level, this ego and the delusion connects together. And they continue the journey of stress and the suffering. In this session, I discussed that how to recognize it by thinking consciously, at least for 5 minutes in the evening before going to the bed, you recognize them. You remind yourself, and you will see the life is going to change. You'll find permanent peace and happiness within. So, in the next session, we will understand what exactly is the delusion. We'll go a little deeper and understand, oh, this is the delusion, and how the delusion alone causes the endless suffering in life. Thank you.